Why didn't the melons get married? Because they cantaloupe. Virtue signaling. It's so terrible. I mean, it is kind of terrible. But signaling virtue is not. At least that's what I'm calling it. Now, this comes from the work of a researcher named B.J. Fogg, who is world-renowned for his research understanding of how habits are made and broken. Now, one thing that B.J. Fogg added to the understanding of the building of habits is the importance of emotion. Habits can be built through repetition. Absolutely. But why is it that some habits can be built very quickly, very efficiently? Well, it comes down to emotion. The more emotion is associated with some behavior, the more deeply wired it becomes in your brain. And this is why something like touching a hot stove, you don't need to repeatedly do this in order to learn that it's a bad idea. One time is scary and painful, and so the impression of it is powerfully imprinted on your brain, and it only takes once. So we can leverage this to build our own habits. Now, the way you do this is when you do something, when you find yourself doing something that you'd like to do more of, when you intentionally do something that you'd like to do more of, either one, you're going to perform the behavior, do the action, and then you're going to basically reward yourself emotionally. You're going to intentionally put yourself in a good state. And there's a lot of ways to do this. Find one that works for you, but something like like a fist pump, or like just a big smile, or like a thumbs up, or like, yeah, talk to yourself. Give yourself the feeling that you did something good, right? Make sure that you actually feel that emotion. Now, B.J. Fogg calls this emotion shine. He says, you should feel shine. I don't like that word. I don't like his term for it. I think it's kind of dumb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that phrase, virtue signaling, and I'm going to reappropriate it into signal virtue, right? So when you do something that you want to do more of, that you want to imprint more deeply, that you want to make habitual, signal virtue to yourself. Signal to yourself that you've just done something virtuous, something that you should feel proud of. Now, if you really want to take this approach to habits to the next level, what you can do is reward yourself for remembering that you should do something, right? So let's say you forgot to do the thing that you're trying to tell yourself to do, but you remembered later in the day, oh, I forgot to do that habit that I'm trying to instill. Well, you can reward yourself emotionally. You can signal virtue for having remembered the habit. And that, again, is going to strengthen just that habit popping up in your brain so that you are more likely to remember to do it when you're in the context in which it's appropriate. This signaling virtue to yourself itself is a habit. So the more you can do it, the more habits you can build using it, the more effective, the more efficient you're going to get at implementing it, at using it as a tool for the purpose for which is intended. So signal virtue to yourself. Tell yourself when you've done something well. Reward yourself emotionally, and you'll find that your habits become much stickier. It's very low cost, very high effectiveness. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any dad jokes that you love, put them down in the comments. I'll pick the best ones and say them during my next videos, and I'll give you credit for them, for whoever came up with them. If you liked the video, please click the like button and the subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. And remember that you are already someone's hero, and now you get to earn it. So, go be super.